So this is the fourth scene.
Again, as a continuation. I mean, I can't help it. We were not able to help it. It's so good. Katappa gives an epic introduction for Bahubali, and they all recognize, okay, this is indeed Bahubali and not some mentally retarded Shivu.
Is he wearing that shield underneath the whole time?
He's a warrior, yes. He has to be ready all the time. Short scene, but I'll let you go first.
Well, I know my husband's itching to recite the same thing that Katappa did, so I will just say, I think my main thing is, was he wearing that shield the whole time? Like, I thought it was nighttime. It was like they were ambushed almost, and he was wearing that, and he's like, the fire is just, I'm like, the fire doesn't scald him. It's like, there's still wind. It's like blowing past him. That's all I have to say. Now your turn.
माहिष्मति के होने वाले सम्राट, राजमाता शिवगामी देवी के प्रिय पुत्र, भयभीत था जिससे संसार सारा, उस कालकय के संहारक वीरों के वीर, अमरेंद्र बाहुबली.
He says that at home all the time.
I'm not showing off. I just love it so much, and the introduction is so epic. It feels good, like it's goosebumps, But I have a technical catch over here. When Katappa says, भयभीत था जिससे संसार सारा, उस कालकय के संहारक वीरों के वीर. Yes.
He's repeating it.
Okay. So yes, true. Bhaybheet, maybe the world was, afraid of Kalake. Bahubali is great veer, no doubt. But in reality, it was Bhala who killed some,
It was.
It was Bhala.
But Bahubali was gonna kill him, but he tried to be merciful.
True. No, Bahubali was not trying to be merciful. So in that scene, that's in the first movie, where Bharlal Dev went against his mother's wishes because the Rajmata Shivgami Devi had said, गिद्ध उसकी आंखें नोच ले, उसकी अंतड़ियां बाहर आ जाए, पर मुझे वो जीवित चाहिए. तो basically Bahubali followed and wanted to capture, Kalake alive. However,
that's because the mother wanted him alive.
Yes, mother wanted him alive. But I think in the conquest of being, who wins the war probably gets the kingdom, Bhalal Dev, kills Kalake. So in essence, Bhalal Dev killed Kalake, not Bahubali. I'll just end with Maheshmati के होने वाले सम्राट, राजमाता शिवगामी देवी के प्रिय पुत्र, भयभीत था जिससे संसार सारा, उस कालकय के संहारक वीरों के वीर, अमरेंद्र बाहुबली. Let's go to the next one.
Alright, so this it gives me warm feelings. This is the scene where they are betrothed to be married, and I think this is a scene where Devasena is the prettiest that she's ever, and she's getting on the big ship to go to Maheshmati. And before she gets on that, she has a somewhat accident, and lo and behold, the hero comes and saves her. So let's start. Oh. He's flirting with her. She's like, no. She's like, I'm dignified.
Princess. That much respect.
I mean, this is a prelude to their marriage. That he will save her no matter what.
Right.
He will give her dignity.
Right.
Okay, they're fanning her, but there's already wind. And I'll tell you why. I want you to look at his hair. Hold on. Oh, I love this song. Do you see the wind in his hair?
Oh yes, that's a good observation.
What are they doing with her hand? Oh, they're putting a ring on her left hand. I love the song.
I mean, poor Devasena, I mean, this was probably the best, like, as, like, kingly she felt.
The elephant is behind them. That is sad that this is the best their marriage will be.
Right.
Actually, I disagree. I think, even though later on when
kingly,
yeah,
is what I meant basically. Of course, they had the baby, which is great.
No. But even when they were not in the kingdom and they were outside, they still enjoyed.
Right. Oh wow! Like, it's so strong. Like.
So, I think towards the end when part of the ship broke by the Mahashmati elephant, I think that's symbolic.
Yeah.
That's something, they're engaged, everything's good.
I see.
Part of their ship breaks. I think that's foreboding into the bad things that are coming.
I see. So this is in the courtyard of Mahishmati when Devasena comes along with Bahubali as per the wishes of the Shivgami Devi, and the whole saga goes on from there.
Okay.
अपने होने वाले पति के समीप खड़ी हो जाओ देवसेना। मेरा निर्णय सही है या नहीं? माहिष्मति स्वयं ने। देवसेना, क्या कर रही हो? आपने जो कहा वही तो कर रही हो। मैंने जिसे तुम्हारा पति चुना है वो भल्लाल देव है। ये क्या कह रही है राजमाता? मैंने जिसे मन से चाहा और आपने जिसे मेरे लिए चुना वो बाहुबली है। ये सब क्या हो रहा है?
I love how he stops him 2 times.
अपने होने वाले पति के समीप खड़ी हूँ। मैं भल्लाल देव को देवसेना से ब्याहने का वचन दे चुकी हूँ। रुक जाइए। मेरी सहमति के बिना मेरा विवाह तय करने वाली आप होती कौन है? एक क्षत्रिय कन्या को अपना वर चुनने का अधिकार है। आप इतना भी नहीं जानती, इतनी भी बुद्धि नहीं है। शिवगामी से ऊंचे स्वर में बात करने का साहस कैसे किया? दंडनायक, इस अहंकारी को बंदी बनाकर घुटनों पर झुका दो।
Rajmata Shivgami Devi was clearly wrong. Anybody at any point they think that they are completely invincible, it raises chances for failure. And I think that's what happened with Shivgami Devi. She just always thought that she could never be wrong. She clearly could not see all the ploys that her own son was framing to get, the kingdom. And it's unfortunate that Shivgami could not see that coming.
That is unfortunate. I would say that she just kept on going forward. She's like, this is going to be my my son's wife, and she kept going forward with this, and she didn't step back to think a little bit more about it, because I think if she reflected on it, she would have realized that hey, this woman belongs with Bahubali.
Right. I think the pressure was too high because everything was happening in the live in front of every people, all the kingdom's people. If they just it's a family matter, we'll talk about it later, it may have been different, but she should just have given in, and it was a total cult by that point when, the seer says reminds Bahubali that you are the one who said that उस महादेव के निर्णय में गलती हो सकती है पर राजमाता शिवगामी देवी के निर्णय में नहीं. But that to me is a cult. Like Shivgami was feeling that she can no way be wrong, but clearly she was wrong. So a big lesson would be, if you're wrong, learn to accept your mistakes.
How come I feel like you meant that for me? So I think it's really unique that her husband is actually the blood heir, and yet she was chosen as the in charge person because of her smartness and her fairness. And yet in this scene, it just seems to have all crumbled.
I think any time they say if you're angry or you should not make a decision because it turns out to be a bad decision. And the other part I like was all the ploys from the Bharlal Dev. I mean, he is so intelligent, he's so smart. The only thing is that his heart is not in the right place. The way he stopped his father 2 times, like, no, not right now, not right now. The 3rd time, he lets go of his hand. This is the moment to charge. I mean, he was literally perfect in, in all his ploys. In all essence, I mean, this reminds me of Mahabharata. Again, one of the greatest epics of Hindu culture, where a lot of scenes seem inspired from Mahabharata in this.
The director did say this was inspired by Mahabharata, actually. Several times through the movie, she realized she made a mistake, but she could not accept it.
Or if you're angry, do not make a decision. Take a step back. Think about it. It's okay to accept your fault. It's okay to accept your mistake.
I always accept my mistakes.
Well, I'm talking in general. This was very,
I'm talking in specifics. I'm always accepting of my mistakes. So this next scene is when Devi Sena is up on trial of sorts. But this trial she's gonna lose for sure. So Bahubali comes in and again rescues her. He keeps to his promise to protect her dignity, and he does.
I love the broad gate.
It's a wide base gate.
I mean, he's more popular than the king.
Rujisa.
Wait, what is it? I love the hair.
My husband wants that hair.
Next year. Not that one.
Did they need to shackle her?
Seriously, I mean,
he's holding his sword I'm so angry.
Right. Yet so calm.
ये क्या व्यवहार है? तुम पीड़ित को धमका रहे हो। विनती करने से सच बाहर नहीं आएगा महाराज।
अपनी हद पार कर रहे हो बाहुबली।
एक गर्भवती को पीड़ियों के साथ खड़ा करके ये सभा पहले ही अपनी हद पार कर चुकी है।
Oh, she's chastising her.
तुम हो या मैं, न्याय विधान सबके लिए एक है। जानते भी हो क्या हुआ था? क्या हुआ था देवसेना?
शिवालय में सभी महिलाओं को एक तरफ बुलाया। अंदर भेजने के बहाने वो सब पर हाथ डाल रहा था। मेरे साथ भी वो यही करने वाला था, तो उसकी उंगलियां काट दी।
गलत किया देवसेना। औरत पर हाथ डालने वाले की उंगलियां नहीं काटते, काटते हैं उसका गला।
Oh my God! What just happened, man?
Oh, she's like.
Oh,
the head falls off. Yeah, the wind. Where is it coming from? They're in a building.
Oh my God! What just happened? So I have double thoughts on this. Absolutely, Bahubali had to protect the wife's honor. There is no doubt about that. But I partially feel that Bahubali was somewhat wrong in this scene. When Shivagami says that Bahubali, you are crossing your limits. So I did feel actually he crossed his limits. Bahubali was also not smart enough maybe to realize that what his brother was conspiring against him. Because clearly this trial was meant for Devsena to lose. So yes, he had to protect her, but by taking everything in his own hands, it's an amazing scene the way he beheads him, the way he's so angry, seeing his pregnant wife, standing with those iron shackles. But beheading that man for this reason, I think if he did not behead that man, things may have been different. What do you think?
I think that if he didn't behead this man, another thing would have arisen, which would have put Devasena again in the losing battle.
Sure.
And so this just kind of fast forwarded it. This next scene, I always cry, and I think because when you put it all together, it makes me cry so hard. I might not be able to watch this entire scene though.
Mama!
Oh, I'm disgusted in Katapa.
I'm totally disgusted. I mean,
He could have taken the sword and killed himself.
It's totally disgusted. I mean, oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's like, seriously, man, you did that? Did you really have to do that?
Bahubali is like, what? And yet he bows? It's like... See, I feel like Katapa,
Makes
he
no sense.
disgusted me. Like Balaldev, he was mean. But Katapa, he claimed to be good.
I mean, total disgrace, you know, for Katappa to kill Bahubali. You know, yes, again, so this again brings us back to Mahabharata. So, Mahabharata, Katappa reminds me somewhat of Gangaputra Devrat or Bhisham Pitama for that matter, you know, who has this pledge, you know, who has a pledge.
Oh yes, he pledges not to have a kid who becomes prince.
Right, not to marry ever, basically, so stay, you know, single. But, so in here, Katappa has this lifelong pledge that they will serve the kingdom and the king. You know, okay. So it kind of reminds me of that, like, you know, where in Mahabharata, Bhisham Pitama, you know, was not the most right in following his own thing. Here, Katappa was again following it. To be on Katappa's side, Katappa did tell Shivgami, I'm sorry, I cannot follow these orders, please kill me. Shivgami Devi was like, whether will you kill Bahubali or do you want me to kill Bahubali? That was enough for Katappa to kill him, basically.
So this next scene is after Katappa kills Bahubali and he's telling Shivgami the news. I'm surprised he went against her right here.
That's the one and only time.
अमरेंद्र बाहुबली नहीं रहे अब आपके महाराज हैं
Look at this little
I
arm,
know,
it's like limp.
so cute. So, Tessa. Oh, the stamp.
Oh,
that's so cute.
Shivgami is trying to rectify the situation.
Right.
It's a little bit too late. Randomly now he develops the gall to be like, you did something wrong, Shivgami. Where was he before all of this?
Before this, even Katappa did not know that there's a ploy going on. That's his, you know,
That's like
pledge.
following blindly though.
That's exactly what happened in Mahabharata too, you know, where Bhisham Pitama was also tied to the kingdom. You know, he can never go against, so it's like kind of an honor kind of a situation. I believe this is the final scene.
Okay, so so he shoots arrows that kills people through their shield, through their armor, but for him, nothing can penetrate him.
No, he ditches them. He's oh, look at that. Look at that. Like,
Oh my gosh.
oh my god.
Man, that is a very futuristic, highly technological chariot.
I agree. Easy to use. I would like to do that too.
Man, every time a tree seems to save Bahubali, the tree is always in his favor.
I mean, I would like to be able to do that too. I just can't do that.
Oh, the statue's falling. See, I never thought that Balaldev was like into money. That's why I was like surprised that this statue was representative of him. I thought he'd be happy with the kingdom.
I'll come to that.
agree. This scene could use some more music, some more like dun dun
Right.
dun music.
Like, I mean, the music is amazing. Or they may be trying to build up to it.
Could be building up to
Yeah.
it. So she's walking around the temple 3 circles. Didn't Shivgami do the same thing? And it didn't work out?
I'll come to that as well.
Okay.
Technical error is what I believe.
Okay. Oh my gosh. This guy is super wide. It's like a monster. Oh my god, is this real? It's so monsterish. Oh my gosh, ew.
I want muscles like that too.
It's so wide. In real life, he's blind in one eye.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
मुझे कितनी खुशी हो रही है
Both these men actually trained based on the WWE fighter theory. They were eating like so much protein. Oh, this is the scene I told you.
Oh, yeah,
where he like clamps his hand down, and yet he breaks free.
He's Bahubali. Oh my god.
He's so strong he can break through metal.
मेरे हाथों से तुम्हारी छाती चीरने का मौका दिया तुमने मैं कैसे तुम्हारा धन्यवाद करूं
Oh my god, he's like piercing through the heart, I know.
बाहुबली
Oh my god.
Did he
Come
call
on,
him Mahendra?
Bahubali. Call him
But he's
Bahubali.
a Mahendra, right?
He's Mahendra Bahubali.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love the scene. The music.
Is it hot or something? How's the blood?
There's his blood like flowing, you know, he's like the... It's so symbolic, like, wow.
And his name was Shiva too.
Yeah.
My god, those abs, they're painted on. Those abs.
I like that vibhuti, vibhut. Oh, this is also so symbolic.
The chains that chained Devasena. It looks like he's God right here.
Oh, he's like, this is, I think, Bhalaldev thinking, like, you know, oh,
He
his
looks like his
past
father.
sins are coming to him, you know. Oh my god, he's gone. Wow, this is amazing.
Is it common for Indian men to wear earrings?
It's, I mean, some people do. So, I have a lot of thoughts on that, but...
Alright, so my 2 questions were, Devasena walked around 3 times and Mahendra won the battle. But why did, when Shivgami did it for, you know...
in the beginning of the movie, right?
And Mahendra did not become king.
So I agree. I mean, that technically is a technical error in my mind. You know, because what it was said when Shivgami Devi, which is the daughter-in-law of the kingdom, has to walk like 20 miles or whatever, you know, barefoot and, you know, go to a village and destroy that, you know, Akal Rakshas or whatever. She did that successfully, you know. Her feet never stopped. Kyunki paon ruke nahi. Anyway, so strictly speaking, you know, if they completed the ceremony, it should have been auspicious for the whole kingdom. But today it was not. So you're absolutely right in saying, why not? So in my brain, it's actually a technical error, I would say. Bharlalde was never into gold and all the statues.
Yes.
So that's again a good catch. But if you remember, in the beginning, Bharlalde was not in the statues. They had decided that Bahubali will be the king.
Mm-hmm.
Shivgami comes to Bharlaldev saying that this mahal, this kingdom for you, this 50 feet statue for you, this, you know, the bow and the arrow, which ultimately he kills his mother with that arrow and bow, for you. At that scene, Bharlaldev said, like, छोटे भाई को राज्य दिया जा रहा है, इसलिए उपहार देके मुझे आप शर्मिंदा मत कीजिए. kind of a thing, where he basically tries to win over her, the mother, but he did not want that. But that was Shiv Gami's idea. Maybe she was trying to balance. But you're right, Bhalal never wanted the statues.
That's why it was like when they made him seem like so cruel and into like gold statues, I was like, that was never Bhalal.
He was never, right.
He is basically Bahubali, but just doesn't have the passion for goodness of the people. But he just really wanted the kingdom.
He just wanted the kingdom. And I think in some ways,
he wanted people's love.
Well, I don't know about that. He killed his own mother.
No, he wanted the kingdom's love.
Kingdom's love, yes, true. I mean, again, that kind of reminds me of, again, Mahabharata again. In Mahabharata, his father was here. The Mama Shakuni was in some ways, the way they raised Duryodhan, exactly the same way. They just love the kingdom. They can go to any extent. They can kill anybody. They can kill their own family members for that.
I think that summarizes our experience with Bahubali movie 2. It's a great movie. It's one of my top favorite of the Indian movies. And I cry every single time when I watch it continuously. Every single time.
I'm just impressed beyond words. I'm super impressed with Bahubali and I just love the movie. It's an amazing, amazing watch. I highly recommend it for everybody.
Me too. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed our review/reaction to this, and I hope you guys get a chance to watch it again or watch it for the first time. Bye guys.
Jai Mahishmati.